Yup. Okay, so I'm gonna be explaining my monk, and it's not just my monk. It's just how monks work. This is one of the builds. I still think it's the best build, but then again, I haven't tried out all the other ones. I really love this build. It's just perfect for me. Like if you ask me to replace one of these skills with another skill, I don't know which one I would replace. It's just for me, it's the perfect build. If you don't like it, try to make your own build. Maybe it's a preference thing, I guess. If you do like it, go ahead and try this one. I've been using it for since I started playing, or since I got to 60, should I say. And okay, let's get started. Um, for a monk, you don't get too much armor, but there's this skill that used to give you 100% armor of your dexterity, but it gives you 50 now or after 1.0.5, which kind of sucks because we don't really get much armor. But try to aim for. I've seen like a monk with 8 to 10k, and he wasn't dying at all. It might have been his other stats, he didn't really show them, but he he had a lot of survivability. Just try to aim for as much as you can while buying like your other necessities. Damage is Don't focus too much on damage because you need all the other stats too, but also try to keep your damage at a pretty decent level so you can keep progressing. Crit chance, super duper important in the build I use, because sweeping winds creates little tornadoes, and those tornadoes spawn on crit. Oh, it's raining outside. Those tornadoes spawn on crit, so the more crit chance you have, the more those spawn, and they do a pretty decent amount of damage. I've seen them crit over 100k for me, and so try to get your crit chance at least 30%. Try to get it 30 to 35%. That's a decent amount. Crit damage just as much as you can. Just try to keep it over like 350 or like 300. Block amount if you that's just a bonus if you get those. Um yeah, don't worry about these, but if they come on your armor somehow, then that's great. That would actually help a lot probably. Dodge chance, that comes from your dexterity, or if you're using mantra of evasion, which gives you dodge. We have our resistances. Always use one with everything, which, okay, I'm going to explain this to the people who don't really understand it. One with everything, your resistances to all elements is equal to the highest element resistance. So that means, say my poison resistance is 766, right? But all my other resistances are like 300, 200, like 100 and something. All of my resistances will be 766, which is what my poison resistance is, because it's my highest. So basically, we'll use this as an example. Basically, you want to stack all resistance and then one resistance that you choose. I chose poison resistance, and that just stick to one. You just need one. You don't need all of them. And it doesn't matter which one you choose. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever you choose. They're all the same. Try to keep your resistances over 800. I know I'm a little bit low, but I've been sacrificing for damage because I'm getting higher into the game, and it's getting annoying, taking forever to kill. So try to keep your resistances over 800. Okay, let's move on to what's next. Life per second. That's like a bonus. Having 500 life per second. That's kind of okay, I guess. It's not a necessity, but it does help. Obviously, it's just a little side way to get HP, I guess. Then you have life per kill. That could be useful depends on the way you play. If say you're dying during an elite mob, and you have a lot of life per kill, you could just go run off, kill one white mob, and then you'll be back to full, and then you could go finish off the elite kill. You have life per hit, which is essential. Mine is super low right now. I didn't even notice to drop that low, but I switched to this weapon, which brings it up, and I have life steal too. I need to talk about that. So life per hit, try to keep your life per hit over 1,000, which 1,000 should be good. If you could get it more than 1,000, that's great. Depends on how much money you have to spend on gear and stuff. Life steal. Life steal is great over I would say over 80 to 100k ish. Once you get past that point, you could start getting lifesteal, and it will help a lot. I mean, you could get both life per hit and lifesteal, which would be crazy amounts of HP returned. But I'm sure with maybe 6% lifesteal, you should be fine. I would just try to get both as much as you can. Life per hit over 1,000 too. Movement speed, that's not a for monks, it's not really an essential, but it is good to have. Makes your runs a lot faster. If you're dying, you get to run away faster and actually get away. Then we have magic find, gold find, whatever, just whatever you get those two. Okay. That about sums it up. Yup. Okay, let's go on to the build. So, I use Fist of Thunder with Thunderclap, which does damage and teleports you to the enemy. It's actually really helpful because say there's an enemy here and I am chained over here, right? Or jailed, whatever. It actually teleports you while you're jailed. So you could still go over there and fight while you're jailed. Or even without that, if you're chasing down a faster enemy, you teleport to it. Here, I'll actually show you right now. It's actually a great skill for melee, because you don't really get any distance on anything. So it helps a lot. Lagging. See that? I just teleported to the... Here, we'll do it again. Here we go. Okay, watch this guy. Bam! See that? You actually teleport to the guy, and I don't know. I really like it since I'm a melee, and it's really not the easiest for melee to fight ranged mobs, and yeah, ranged mobs. That's the first thing. Second thing, Breath of Heaven with Blazing Wrath. Blazing Wrath is great. You see it heals you for like 6,200 to 7,400. That doesn't really help too much. I mean, it does help when you're in a tough situation. It does help, but it's not something that helps a lot. But the good part of it is the 15% more damage that you get from it for 45 seconds. And since the cooldown's only 15 seconds, you have this up constantly. It's always up. So here, I'm going to take it off and I'll show you the damage difference. 123k, right? Bam, 141k. That's a huge damage difference just from one skill. And you get to have that constantly. So get that. Serenity. Serenity gives you immunity to all damage for 3 seconds. I use Ascension, which adds an extra second. That extra second's actually really, really, really helpful. It might not seem like a lot, but it's really helpful. If you don't like it though, just try to look at the other ones and see if you could choose one of those. Then we have the mantras. Mantra of healing is what I started off with. it gives you life per second, and then you could get 20% extra resistances, which is great for when you're having trouble at lower monster power levels and you don't have much gear really. Try to use Mantra of Healing with Time of Need. Mantra of Retribution I never used. I just don't feel like it would be as effective as the other ones. Mantra of Evasion is what I use later on. It helps with living, obviously. Gives you a 15% chance to dodge, which would bring me up to like 75% or something, which is a pretty big percent. And I believe I used Backlash for the extra damage, but I might have. Yeah, there it is. You could also get 20% more armor. So if you use this with the 20% more armor, that's actually a great amount of help to your survivability. Sorry. But after you feel comfortable and don't really feel like you need a defensive mantra, move on to Mantra of Conviction, which adds 12% more damage. But with this rune, you get 24% more damage constantly because it lasts like 5 minutes. No, 3 minutes. I lied. It feels like 5 minutes. So that you have that up constantly. The thing about this is it doesn't show in your damage here, but it's implied in your damage when you're actually doing the damage. And also for the first 3 seconds that you cast this, you get 48% more damage instead of 24. Without the rune, you get 24% more damage instead of 12% more damage. So this is a great skill. It helps a lot with your DPS. Let's move on to the passives. Resolve is one of the defensive ones. These three I've been using since I started this build. Not as in like I created it, but since I started using it, because I'm sure a lot of people use this. I used to use Fleet-Footed before the monster powers came out, but now I actually need the extra defensives, because running even at monster power 6 when you run into a pretty difficult mob, it's pretty annoying, and I'm sure you guys already know that. So the extra help doesn't hurt. Okay, so that reduces enemy damage by 20% for 2.5 seconds. I'm guessing it's to the enemies that you do damage to. Deal reduces. Yeah, I'm guessing it's the enemies you do damage to, but it might be if you hit enemy A and B do 20% less damage for 2.5 seconds. It might be like that, but I'm not sure. Then you have Seize the Initiative, which gives 50% more armor for your dexterity. Wait, what? Oh, I just confused myself. Sorry, I just woke up. Your armor is increased by 50% of your dexterity. So that's a great help. You definitely want as much armor as you can. It's not something you gotta obsess over, but you definitely want as much armor as you can. It does help a lot. One with everything, that's an essential. You have to have that. I explained the poison resistance or lightning resistance, whatever you want to choose. You end up getting it on everything. One thing I forgot to talk about is health. You want to keep your health above 30k for sure. I would say 35 to 40k would be ideal. Maybe, yeah, 40k would be ideal, but 35 should be okay too. I've been doing fine with it. And other than that, I believe that's my full build. I went over everything. So you guys go try it out. Here, I'll go kill some stuff for you guys. I'll kill an elite or something. Let's see this. This is I don't know. I just really like this build. It's perfect for me. if you guys don't like it, there's another build that I see, or not see people use, but I've heard of people using. They get a two-hander, like a Scorn with lifesteal or something. I mean, you could do it without the lifesteal and the Scorn because those are really expensive, but a Scorn with lifesteal is actually really great. But what they do is they use that one skill that like spins your weapon around. I don't know, I've never used it. I, I just feel too comfortable with this build that I really don't want to, go try a different build right now. But other than that, it might be a great build. No, 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 no. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. See, that's my issue right now. I dropped a bunch of life life on hit on accident. Like I wasn't paying attention. I dropped a bunch of life on hit, and what else did I drop? I think I dropped some health too to get a lot more DPS. So when I use my this weapon, which is my damage weapon, I switched to this one, which has life steal and more life on hit and stuff. But yeah, everything I told you, just try to do that. If it works, let me know. I really hope it works and it actually helps you guys. That would be great. If it doesn't work, let me know like what I could do to change it, if I could improve it somehow. Or maybe if I said something wrong, I could be wrong. They could have changed something or I could have misinterpreted something. Just let me know, guys. I'm always open to help. I don't know. Just let me know whatever you guys need. Enjoy this build and subscribe, like the channel, whatever. I mean the video. Sorry. And enjoy. This game's an amazing game. I hope you guys have fun, and I hope it's way easier now that I told you this build. Peace, guys.